The MG42 was more than a machine gun, it was a psychological weapon. Introduced by Nazi Germany in 1942, it earned terrifying nicknames from Allied soldiers such as Hitler's Buzzsaw due to its extremely high rate of fire, reaching up to 1,200 rounds per minute. This meant that a short burst could saturate an entire area with bullets in seconds. Designed for mass production, the MG42 used stamped metal parts instead of complex machining, making it cheaper and faster to produce than its predecessor, the MG34. Despite this, it was incredibly reliable, functioning in mud, snow, desert heat, and freezing winters. What made the MG42 revolutionary was its versatility. It could be used as a light machine gun with a bipod, or mounted on a tripod for sustained fire, effectively serving as a heavy machine gun. German infantry tactics revolved around the MG42, with riflemen supporting the gun rather than the other way around. Even today, the MG42's legacy lives on. Its design influenced post-war weapons like the MG3, still used by NATO forces. Few weapons in history reshaped battlefield doctrine the way the MG42 did. The MG42 was more than a machine gun, it was a psychological weapon. Introduced by Nazi Germany in 1942, it earned terrifying nicknames from Allied soldiers such as Hitler's Buzzsaw due to its extremely high rate of fire, reaching up to 1,200 rounds per minute. This meant that a short burst could saturate an entire area with bullets in seconds. Designed for mass production, the MG42 used stamped metal parts instead of complex machining, making it cheaper and faster to produce than its predecessor, the MG34. Despite this, it was incredibly reliable, functioning in mud, snow, desert heat, and freezing winters. What made the MG42 revolutionary was its versatility. It could be used as a light machine gun with a bipod, or mounted on a tripod for sustained fire, effectively serving as a heavy machine gun. German infantry tactics revolved around the MG42, with riflemen supporting the gun rather than the other way around. Even today, the MG42's legacy lives on. Its design influenced post-war weapons like the MG3, still used by NATO forces. Few weapons in history reshaped battlefield doctrine the way the MG42 did. The Browning M1919 was the backbone of American automatic firepower during World War II. Reliable, rugged, and versatile, it served in infantry units, vehicles, aircraft, and defensive positions. Unlike the MG42, the M1919 fired at a slower, more controlled rate, making it ideal for sustained fire. It was air-cooled, reducing weight, and easy to maintain under combat conditions. American forces valued reliability above all, and the M1919 delivered. It fought in Europe, North Africa, and the Pacific, proving effective in every environment. While not as terrifying as the MG42, the M1919 symbolized American industrial strength and consistency. The Browning M2 wasn't just a machine gun, it was battlefield dominance incarnate. Firing the massive 50 BMG round, it could destroy vehicles, aircraft, and fortified positions. Introduced before World War II, the M2 became indispensable. Its long-range accuracy and stopping power made it feared by enemy infantry and pilots alike. Even today, nearly a century later, the M2 remains in active service, a testament to its unmatched design. The DP-27 was the Red Army's workhorse machine gun. Simple, durable, and easy to produce, it was perfectly suited to Soviet mass warfare. Its distinctive Pan magazine fed 47 rounds and made it instantly recognizable. While slower firing than the MG42, it was extremely reliable in snow and mud. The DP-27 played a major role in halting the German advance on the Eastern Front. The Maxim M1910 was an old design, but it remained deadly. Water-cooled and heavy, it excelled in defensive warfare. Soviet forces used it extensively in entrenched positions, where it could fire almost endlessly without overheating. Against advancing German troops, the Maxim became a wall of steel. The Vickers was legendary for endurance. British crews reportedly fired it non-stop for days during training. Water-cooled and incredibly reliable, it dominated defensive warfare and provided sustained suppressive fire. The Bren gun combined accuracy with reliability. Lightweight and precise, it became a favorite among British infantry. Though its magazine capacity was limited, its accuracy made every shot count. The Type 92 heavy machine gun was one of Imperial Japan's most recognizable and widely used automatic weapons during World War II. Introduced in 1932, its name comes from the Japanese imperial calendar year 2592. While it looked outdated compared to European designs like the German MG42, the Type 92 played a crucial role in Japan's infantry tactics, especially in China and the Pacific Theater. Nicknamed the Woodpecker by Allied soldiers because of its slow, rhythmic firing sound, the Type 92 fired the 7.7 by 58 mm Arisaka cartridge. Unlike high-rate-of-fire weapons, this machine gun emphasized control and sustained fire rather than raw volume. Its cyclic rate of fire was relatively low, but this actually helped Japanese crews conserve ammunition and maintain accuracy during long engagements. One of the most unusual features of the Type 92 was its strip-fed hopper system. Instead of belts or box magazines, it was fed using metal strips, which required constant manual loading during combat. While this system reduced the risk of jams in dusty or humid jungle environments, it also slowed down sustained fire and demanded highly trained crews. Japanese machine gun teams practiced extensively to keep the weapon firing under pressure. The Type 92 was built like a fortress, heavy, rugged, and mounted on a solid tripod. It was designed primarily for defensive positions. In jungle warfare, it was often hidden in camouflage bunkers or elevated positions, creating deadly crossfire zones. American and Allied troops frequently underestimated it due to its slow firing sound, only to discover its lethal accuracy once they advanced. Despite its strengths, the Type 92 had clear weaknesses. It was heavy, difficult to move, and less effective in mobile warfare. Against faster-firing Allied weapons, Japanese forces often relied on positioning and surprise, rather than firepower superiority. Still, in entrenched positions, the Type 92 could dominate an area and halt enemy advances. By the end of World War II, the Type 92 was technologically outdated, but it remained a symbol of Japan's defensive combat doctrine. It may not have had the terrifying roar of the MG42, but in the dense jungles and fortified islands of the Pacific, the Type 92 proved that controlled, disciplined fire could be just as deadly. The Type 99 light machine gun was Imperial Japan's attempt to modernize its infantry firepower during World War II. Introduced in 1939, the weapon was chambered for the 7.7 by 58 mm Arisaka cartridge, bringing it in line with Japan's newer rifle ammunition and improving battlefield compatibility. While it never achieved the fame of weapons like the MG42 or the Bren gun, the Type 99 played a significant role across the Pacific Theater. Designed as a squad-level support weapon, the Type 99 was lighter and more mobile than heavy machine guns such as the Type 92. It was intended to move with advancing infantry, providing suppressive fire during assaults and defensive actions. One of its most distinctive features was its top-mounted 30-round box magazine, which allowed the gunner to fire while prone but also obstructed the sight picture slightly, requiring specialized training. The Type 99 was generally reliable, especially in harsh jungle environments where dirt, humidity, and mud could cripple more complex weapons. Japanese engineers favored simplicity, and the Type 99% reflected this philosophy. Its slower rate of fire helped conserve ammunition, an important factor for Japanese forces operating far from supply lines on isolated islands. An unusual feature of early Type 99 models was the inclusion of a monopod and anti-aircraft sights, allowing soldiers to attempt firing at low-flying aircraft. While this was largely ineffective in practice, it demonstrates how Japanese doctrine emphasized versatility, even at the cost of added weight and complexity. In combat, the Type 99 was most effective when used defensively or in ambushes. Japanese troops often concealed themselves in dense vegetation or fortified positions, opening fire suddenly at close range. While it lacked the sustained fire capability of belt-fed machine guns, its accuracy and durability made it dangerous in skilled hands. However, the Type 99 also had limitations. Its 30-round magazine required frequent reloading, reducing continuous fire. As the war progressed and Japan faced material shortages, later production models suffered from declining build quality, further reducing effectiveness. By the end of World War II, the Type 99 light machine gun stood as a symbol of Japan's infantry doctrine, focused on discipline, positioning, and endurance rather than overwhelming firepower. In the brutal, close-range battles of the Pacific, the Type 99 proved that even modest automatic weapons could become deadly when combined with tactics and terrain. The Hotchkiss M1914 was one of the most durable and battle-proven machine guns of the early 20th century, and despite its age, it was still widely used during World War II. Originally designed before World War I, this heavy machine gun became the backbone of French defensive firepower and remained in service long after newer designs had appeared on the battlefield. Chambered in 8x50mm Lebel, the Hotchkiss M1914 was known for its exceptional reliability. Unlike water-cooled machine guns such as the Maxim, the Hotchkiss relied on an air-cooled system with large cooling fins around the barrel. This made it lighter than many heavy machine guns, while still capable of sustained fire when operated by a trained crew. One of the most distinctive features of the Hotchkiss M1914 was its metal strip feeding system, typically using 24 or 30 round strips. While this design reduced the chance of belt-related malfunctions, it required constant reloading during combat. French crews became highly skilled at rapidly feeding the gun, maintaining a steady rhythm of fire rather than long, continuous bursts. On the battlefield, the Hotchkiss excelled in defensive warfare. During the early stages of World War II, French forces used it extensively in fortified positions, bunkers, and trench networks. Its accuracy and stability made it deadly against advancing infantry, and once properly emplaced, it could dominate wide areas of terrain. However, by World War II standards, the Hotchkiss M1914 was showing its age. It was heavy, slow to reposition, and ill-suited for fast-moving or mechanized warfare. Against more modern machine guns like the German MG42 and MG42, it lacked flexibility and sustained fire capability. When France fell in 1940, many Hotchkiss guns were captured and later reused by German forces for secondary roles and coastal defense. Despite its limitations, the Hotchkiss M1914 earned a reputation as a machine gun that simply would not fail. Its long service life across multiple wars is a testament to its solid engineering and battlefield dependability. While it may not have changed warfare like the MG42, the Hotchkiss M1914 remains a symbol of early machine gun evolution and the importance of reliability over innovation. The FM2429, officially known as the Fusil Mitrailleur Model 1924-29, was France's primary light machine gun during World War II. Designed in the aftermath of World War I, it represented France's effort to equip infantry squads with a reliable and accurate automatic weapon that could move with advancing troops rather than remain fixed in defensive positions. Chambered for the 7.5x54mm French cartridge, the FM24-29 was praised for its excellent accuracy and controllability. Its moderate rate of fire allowed soldiers to deliver precise bursts rather than waste ammunition. This made it particularly effective in covering advancing infantry or holding narrow sectors of the battlefield. The weapon used a top-mounted 25-round box magazine, which, like many designs of the era, limited sustained fire. While this required frequent reloads, it also kept the gun relatively lightweight and easy to handle. The open-iron sights and stable bipod contributed to its reputation as one of the more accurate light machine guns of its time. In combat, the FM2429 proved dependable in a wide range of conditions. French troops used it during the early stages of World War II, especially in defensive actions against German advances in 1940. After France's defeat, large numbers of FM24-29 machine guns were captured and later used by German forces for rear area security and training roles. Despite its strengths, the FM24-29 was not designed for prolonged firefights against belt-fed machine guns like the MG34 or MG42. Its limited magazine capacity and lack of quick-change barrel reduced its effectiveness in sustained engagements. French doctrine emphasized controlled, accurate fire rather than overwhelming suppression, and the FM24-29 reflected this philosophy perfectly. Although it never became as famous as some of its contemporaries, the FM24-29 remained in service long after World War II, including in colonial conflicts. Its long lifespan stands as proof of its solid design and battlefield reliability. In many ways, the FM2429 represents a transitional step between early automatic rifles and modern squad support weapons.